wants to start us off?
Start there. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel really good. I feel 100% healthy. I feel like I'm moving around really well. I feel like I'm moving faster, more explosive, stronger, all that stuff, all the cliches you want me to spit out right now. But no, I feel good. I do. I'm excited. These the schedule that they have me on, it's bothered me a little bit with these off days in between and not getting to play as much football as I want to play right now, but it's the right thing. That's why people that are smarter than me are making those decisions. So, but no, I feel great when I'm out there. I have no complaints about my health, and now it's just knocking the rust off, and that's coming every single day.
So is it laid out when you'll get to the point where you don't have those off days? Because you know that now?
Yeah, so we have, I know I say this to death, but we have the best medical and sports staff in the NFL, and the way that they've taken care of me over the last 9 or 10 months, and every single step of the way, no matter what I've asked for or needed, they've always taken care of. It starts with Ben Peterson and his staff and the athletic trainers, and then got turned over to Dustin Perry, which is kind of where the football stuff takes over again. And I'm so proud to be here and have them do what and control my rehab and control the way that I play and train me to go each and every year. This year is no exception, and it was all that more important. And they certainly got the job done.
What was the final verdict on the weight at which you played last year? Did that end up being a little bit too high in your mind?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it all goes back to when you reevaluate your film, and I had a lot of time to do that, being that I got out in week 8. And I think that for as much more production as I got last year and all that that everybody's been talking about, I still felt that I could do things a little bit better. And I'm back to playing a little, the weight that I always played at before the COVID year happened, and that's where I played my best football at, since I was 18, 19 years old, and that's where I'm going to stay, and it's just getting better and better. And we're really pleased with where I'm at and the weight that I'm carrying and the way that I'm carrying it. So it's all good.
Mike, what makes the guy next to you, Spencer Burford, a potential rookie starter?
Well, I think the upside and the talent level is just off the charts. I mean, he's got the frame for it. He's got the size. Strong lower half, enormously long arms, and all the scout mumbo jumbo that you want to throw at him. That's why he's here. But he's a competitor. He's learning every single day, and he's done a great job being thrown into the fire. I mean, it's not. I think the guard position on our offense is one of the most demanding that we have, probably outside of the quarterback position. They have a lot of things going on the inside, on top of having to go mano a mano with some of the biggest and fastest dudes that play in this league, and he's done that and attacked it with great stride, and proud of Spencer and the work that he's doing. And he's still got, obviously he's a rookie, he's going to have his lumps and have some things to do to improve on, but he's doing it every day, and you see him get that much better, and you see him take the coaching from Furster and Craig and Joe Graves and all those guys. And I think Spencer's going to be in a great spot. I think he's done a great job this camp, and you can, like I said, you can see those things every single day start to build.
We see you practicing running on angles next to him and the other guys. What's that like as far as a challenge for a rookie, learning that angle that you have to run on for the zone runs that you guys do?
It's tough, and especially if you're college football, you're not required to move as fast and as laterally and as technically sound as you do here. And what this offense asks of you to do as an offensive lineman, you have to be able to be athletic and move in space and understand the angles and the physics that it takes to block people and block them on the timing of the play. And I can remember back when I was a rookie and how hard that was to grasp, and how to not only play as fast as humanly possible, but process information as fast as humanly possible. And there's a lot of things going on, like I said, at guard that is put on those guards with post-snap, pre-snap adjustments, all that stuff that you have to think about all the time. And when you're a rookie, you don't necessarily have it down, like second nature yet. And so that just requires you to play that, or it makes you play that half a step slower. And so not only are you trying to figure out the angles and the technique that you need to use, but you also have to figure out the speed at which you play at. And Spencer's starting to get that every single day. You see him moving around more confident. You see him, attacking defensive linemen a little bit better in the run game. You see him setting with more confidence in pass pro. And now that yesterday was the last day of our full install, so he's got a lot of things on his plate, and there's a lot of moving parts to our offense. And now he's just got to hone those skills in over the next 5 or 6 weeks and put himself in the best position to help our team win.
Did you lean on anybody, whether it's teammates, whether it's somebody outside the building, as far as your rehab goes? And was your rehab this time any different than any of your last?
I had never had a rehab that was a year-long process. I had one. The only time I ever missed a game in my career was in 2019, and that was only for 3 weeks. So this was a different deal, and it was a long, hard road, and sometimes you forget what it's like to be in it, and especially when your team's making the run that we did at the end of the year last year, it gets hard. And but again, I'm proud of the way that we attacked it. We had small goals every single day, and conquering big steps in each milestone. And the plan was laid out from the very beginning on November 12th when I had surgery. And it's been a lot of fun to get to do that process. It was an opportunity to grow, understand where I needed to get better, and how to use a brand new knee to get going. And and I feel as good as I've ever felt out there in the couple practices that I've had thus far. And in terms of leaning on guys, I just, my family for the most part, my fiance, my fiance became like a chauffeur, nurse, and cook all in the same time for about 2 months. So she had to deal with her patience was definitely tested for that period of time. But so I leaned on her a lot, and then my family back home, they were the ones that got me through it.
Do you take any inspiration from somebody like Clay Thompson? I know you follow that.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the struggles that he's had and is well documented, and the time he spent away from the game of basketball, and then to come back and help, one of our generation's greatest franchise in the NBA succeed and win another championship when everybody's telling them that they're washed up. That's pretty damn cool. And not only is it our generation's #1 franchise, or most dominant franchise, but it's also the hometown team now. So it was pretty cool to watch that from right down the road. And was pulling for, once my Sixers got eliminated, it was fun to pull for the Warriors for sure. And be a Bay native now. So it was cool to watch those guys, and certainly the perseverance and determination that Clay showed is definitely something all athletes can pull from, not just myself.
I got a Trent Williams question. Obviously, when he came here, when the kind of player he was, but that was kind of like you started talking about his wisdom, and I guess maybe he played a small role as far as being a diplomat and bring Debo and the team together, and won our media award twice. You got a chance this year.
I think I've been a dark horse a couple of years. Yeah. I will do it eventually. I will win that award. I promise you. I guarantee that.
Well, I guess the question is, has he surprised you with just kind of, whether it's his intangibles or just kind of who he is and the leader he is?
Absolutely. Trent has been an unbelievable addition to our football team. And to lose the guy that we lost and to replace him with Trent, I've just been so fortunate to be the counterpart to both of them. And both of them have elevated my game to a certain level that, you're chasing it, because that's the best that's the best in the world at what he does and what I do. And that's the standard of what you operate with. And to have that on film and watching it every single day from a football standpoint, that's pretty damn cool. And to be able to ask him across sits next to me in the meeting room and just be like, hey, what happened? To have that kind of wealth of knowledge and experience sitting next to me on top of he's an outside the box thinker on top of what it comes to playing offensive line. I mean, you see the way he does things on the field that no other offensive lineman would really dare to try, and how effective it is, throughout the course of a season when guys can't get timing on it, guys can't figure out their film study, because he's constantly doing things different to change it up, to not be able to get timed up, to not be able to get studied. And that's what makes him so great. And to have that knowledge and experience and just watching it every single day has been invaluable but like you said, the person he is, he doesn't get enough credit for. He is an unbelievable guy, like you said, a wealth of wisdom, and patient with young guys and with other teammates, and always willing to help, and just so incredibly smart. He's seen a lot, he's done a lot, and it's been a pretty big honor in my career to be, well, two. You know, I had 74 and now I got 71, and I'm a pretty lucky guy in that regard. And so it's been a lot of fun, you know, getting to know Trent over these last 3 years, and our relationship has just continued to grow and get stronger. And he's been a huge help to not only me, but like you said, he's very close with Debo and very close with other members of our team. You know, takes rookies in to train with him down in Houston. You know, it's a big deal, and it goes a long way, and that's why he wears the C on his chest.
Trent talked about Spencer's confidence, and like that's a big reason that he's in the starting lineup right now. We always talk about what veterans and how you guys can teach rookies. Is there anything that you can take away from the young guys?
Yeah, I think you can. I think you put so much weight on each rep when you get older and older and older, and you understand everything that's going on. And I've been in this system for 5 years now, and there's not much I don't know about it, and not much I don't know how to do it. But the more scars you get, and the more mistakes you make, that kind of keeps hindering the play the way that you're supposed to play. And I'm a big golf guy. And so I always go back to swing your swing, and everything that you always wind up missing when you miss, it's not because you did something wrong, it's because you didn't do what you're supposed to do and what you've trained, and what you didn't swing your swing. And because of that, I think rookies have that in tenfold, because they're just out there trying to compete, and there's no weight of anything. Each rep doesn't have the weight of the world on their shoulders, because they're just trying to absorb everything that they can. And I think the freedom at which they operate and the freedom at which they compete, and as long as they have that kind of dog mentality and heart in them, there's a lot to take from a young guy and the youth that they bring to the table. And we certainly have that in a big capacity in the O-line room, and I think, what do we have, like, Corey, 23, 24, 25 rookies, something like that? So it's all over our team, and that's a big deal, and it's something it brings a lot of energy to practice and a lot of energy to compete, and there's certainly things that we can all take from young guys.
Speaking of football question, but with Community Corner today, I know that those are organizations that are close to your heart. What does it mean just to be able to take that time out and have your teammates be there as part of that?
Yeah, it's the coolest thing. Obviously it's been well documented of why those organizations are close to my family and me and all that, and we've been our community relations staff is unbelievable, with Stacey McCorkle, Michelle Beck, Saya, all those people, and they've been very, very cool to have, and our O-line has been very, very cool, because we all get to vote on which groups we bring into that deal. And so I think it was the third, maybe even fourth straight year we've had Special Olympics, Camp for the Stars, Best Buddies out there, and it's just, you can hear the energy out of them. You can hear, like, I'm over there, playing tight end. We're doing combinations with the tight ends, and we're standing right in front of them, and the things that they shout at you, the fun that they're having, it just means the world to you, and it gives you a little extra juice to play practice. And we're so excited to have those guys out today.
Speaking of rookies, what are your early impressions of Drake Jackson through some of the few practices you've already had, Mike?
Who? Drake Jackson?
Drake Jackson, your early impressions?
He's got a lot of ability, man. He's, I've only gone against him a handful of times, so I'm not too well versed, but watching him practice it's fun. He's got a lot of ability. He's really long. He's got a lot of ability to bend, good motor, all that kind of stuff. And I think he's just, with the room that we have in that, I think I would argue that we have one of the best defensive lines in football, and certainly one of the best edge rushers on the other side. And to have those guys around him, and with the raw ability and the competitive fire that he has, and certainly Chris Kasurik as well, who is, who sets the tone for everybody at practice. I think the sky's the limit for Drake. I think he's going to have a great, career. I think he's going to be in a big role and able to contribute for us this year. And like I said, we have a lot of guys that are going to show him the ropes, and as long as he's got the competitive deal and drive in him, he's got the natural ability to get there. And it'll be fun to watch him grow just get better each week.
Are you going to be one of those people that helps him show the ropes? Because Trent Williams on Monday said him and Nick Bosa share tips, and he's a little bit apprehensive sometimes about giving Nick Bosa all the keys.
Yeah, I'm not giving Nick anything. He's got plenty of tools in his toolbox, but I'll certainly help Drake if he asks. And you just learn every rep you get, and every time he takes a pass rush here. If you're not learning on each rep that you get and bank them for the next day or the next week or whatever, it always kind of comes back up. And he's going to figure that out. Every rookie does eventually, and hopefully it's faster than later. But I'm here to help anybody that wants it, except for maybe 97 because he doesn't need any.
The defense is playing great, which is good.
Yep.
They are disruptive, and it looks like they're throwing a lot of stuff at you. Is there any sense that you'd like to see some more, maybe a chance to work against them in some vanilla situations?
That's not my call. I will let D'Amico and Kyle battle that out. No, I think it's good for everybody to see everything because they do so well in base and they can play base all day. They've inside guys that'll just eat combination blocks all day and edge players that'll play make all day, and then we got some of the best players in football at every level of our defense, and that's something that not a lot of people can say. And being able to just eat up offensive linemen in gains or twists or anything, and let Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, and Aziz, all them just have free reign back there. That's a scary thing for an offense, and that's why they do what they do. And the more multiple that they get, that's kind of the way that defenses in the league are going with this. Multiple fronts, multiple coverages, multiple blitz packages, and it makes it really hard on offenses to prepare because you don't know what you're going to get. And I think the more that they do that, the more it's going to help our team, the more it's going to help us be able to recognize that kind of thing and be able to adjust on the fly, because that's half the battle. You always think you know what's happening pre-snap, but something quickly can change on you. And so I think that's unbelievable value and value to train for us, especially with young guys up front and a young quarterback. So I think that'll be good for us in the long run.
Has being able to practice against that group ever made a regular season game feel easier?
I don't want to insult the rest of the NFL, but
Go ahead.
as a group, I don't know. There's certain rushers and players. Obviously, there's a couple in LA. There's you have all these guys that you can mention, and there's a long list of them. But I don't know if there's any group that's as unitly solid as what we have. We're so good at every position, whether it's nose, 3-tech, edge, and we're deep. And I think that collective, depth and ability makes it really hard to say that anybody has it better than we do. And obviously it's all opinions, and people can debate that on ESPN all they want, but at the same time it does make our job easier, because we've been saying it for my 5 years, but it's Kyle's 6 years, but iron sharpens iron, right? There's another cliche for you, Nick. But it's the truth, and it's a blessing and an opportunity to go up against Nick Bosa every single day, Eric Armstead every single day, Samson Ebukam every single day. Like, those guys train the hell out of you, and it's such a fortunate position for us as an offensive line and as a unit that we get to go against some of the best each and every day, and it's only going to make Sundays easier for sure. Thanks, guys.
Mike.